Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Just in time, 589. This coming from Ripples in Wales, guys. XRP has hit a price of 0.589. Yes, and since that screen grab, we actually have seen XRP go back down. Of course, just trying to get our appetites wet, waiting for something to explode. XRP right now, as of the time of this recording, is trading in and around 0.583. So just under 0.589. But the good news for XRP, guys, is that price is continuing to maintain this upward trajectory. It is following the Bitcoin chart. If I were to bring Bitcoin up here, you guys can see on the Bitcoin chart. Whoops. Let me just zoom in there on the Bitcoin chart to show you guys that the upward trajectory for Bitcoin is continuing. In fact, it is actually looking quite healthy. You can see that a little better on the 4-hour chart. We are seeing these large swings up, which we've been witnessing for the last week or so, followed by a little bit of a retracement. But you can see here, guys, the green candlesticks are significant compared to the red candlesticks. So trend is still going up. It's very, very apparent on the one-day chart, and even the altcoin market is moving up as well. Rect Capital here pointing this out, a phenomenal retest of the old all-time high resistance, that is in red, as the new major support in green. So that is the first sign here that we are building, guys, building on this former resistance, forming new support here. And this is what is he showing this as? The monthly chart here for Bitcoin to US dollar. So we are building on top of what we saw back at the height of the last bull run, which is very, very positive. We want to be, working our way up here. If I throw this on the monthly, let's see if we can see that same thing here. So monthly support here, if we were to take the tops of the heads of the candlesticks from 2021, and you just draw a straight horizontal line on there, you guys can see that support is building on there, looking very, very positive. Volatility slowly decreasing as we're creating this large bullish pennant pattern on the monthly. So that is very positive news. Rect Capital goes on to say, Bitcoin has been successfully retesting this vital region as new support for 5 consecutive months. So guys, the next step, moving into the euphoria phase. You can see greed is slowly creeping up. 62 right now for the sentiment in the crypto space. Generally what we see is, with these big bull runs, we tend to see a lot of euphoria right all at once. And then it starts to peter off as the momentum of the market continues to peter off. It's not really logical, but maybe I'm overthinking it. Market cap is at $2.44 trillion, so that's up by a little bit. 24-hour volume, guys, that is down. So we did see a lot of volume over the last several days, but now that has petered off as well. So at 33.83% of a decrease, I guess I should clarify there. Bitcoin dominance is at 54.2, so Bitcoin dominance also increasing a little bit compared to altcoins. Generally speaking, we are seeing a green market today, but the green numbers, not huge. XRP is actually down by 1.64%. However, Bitcoin is up by 0.6%. Ethereum is up also by 0.14%. So pretty small numbers. There are some that are doing better than others, like Solana, that's up 2.43%. Dogecoin's up 4% as well. And some other altcoins are doing okay, I guess. We're still in the waiting phase, guys. We are here at the green circle if you take a look at this chart. And if you can't really see the recent retrace, that's precisely the point of this post. So that is, something else to watch here. In former cycles, when we've hit all-time high, the retrace, if you can look in there and look in here, if you guys are looking at where my cursor is on the screen, you can see there is a minuscule retrace. This retrace has been prolonged, though. This is almost like a double top retrace. But as per Rect Capital's first tweet with the building on top on the monthly time frame, again, when in doubt, zoom out. On the monthly time frame, we are building new support here on top of former resistance. So this is textbook 101, upward trend momentum continuing pattern. Again, we learn things as we go. We do know that Bitcoin tends to cool off after it does hit its all-time high. Although this cool-off pattern is taking a little longer than we've seen in the past. Nevertheless, good to keep an eye on that. And then the other thing, XRP is printing a classic bottoming structure and flipping major downtrend resistance. Guys, this is coming from Leb Crypto here on Twitter. It has the fuel of 2x versus the USD. It usually does so very quickly within 2 to 3 days. Should be an interesting week ahead, especially if Bitcoin does behave. So this is the other thing, guys, on the 3-day chart. Okay, he's got a 3-day chart up here. You can see Bitcoin, or rather XRP to Bitcoin dominance. XRP was slowly moving to the upside. And this is generally what we happen to see when we do see that reversal. I still have this this chart on the monthly, but let me put that back on the daily for you guys. And on the daily, you can see XRP here moving up significantly compared to Bitcoin when we did see that initial XRP pop. And now, considering Bitcoin is catching up and XRP is retracing, we're seeing a bit of an equilibrium there. So we are at the beginning of this. Again, we could see this double bounce similar to what we saw back in 2021. Time will tell. It does depend on how Bitcoin behaves too. So I wanted to thank Leb Crypto for that. And so what camp are you guys in? Mikey Bull Crypto here pointing this out. Altcoins, okay? The fake out made you believe that alt season for this cycle has been written off, but study what happened in 2016 post-halving cycle. What he's bringing up is this, okay? Post-halving, we did see a bear trap, guys, before altcoins really just shot to the moon. And you can see here, there is a reversal happening similar to what we're seeing today. A reversal happening going into the negative. We're seeing that crossover as well. Fast forward to 2024, guys, and we're seeing that same kind of bear trap. So what he is projecting here is that we are going to see the same thing, something similar. This cycle might pull a 2017 kind of explosive alt season rally as it follows the same PA path. So he is suggesting that there is a huge alt season brewing. If I bring up the total, let's bring up the total too, actually. Okay, so this is all altcoins excluding Bitcoin, so this would be including Ethereum. Whether you look at the total 2 or the total 3, we are nowhere near getting up to those retracement levels that we've seen in the past. We aren't even at the 0.702 yet. So we did get up to the 0.618, did retrace back down to the 0.382, and now we're kind of hovering in and around here at the 0.5, so halfway up, but nowhere near the kind of retracements that we need to get past all-time high yet. And I mean, if this is going to be a $10 trillion market, we most definitely have to get up past all-time high. Similar to what we saw back in 2018 when the altcoin market did, in fact, reach a 3.618. So that is crypto FOMO. That is everybody rallying in, moving the market up to the top. But is there a case that this could be a silent altcoin rally? Maybe even more specifically, a silent bull run. Have you guys heard this theory? If you think about this for a second and think about the kind of climate we're in terms of crypto trading, there's not that same kind of FOMO that we've seen in the past. And in the past, you have to remember, if you guys were here in 2021, you probably really do remember what was going on in and around here. It was at the end of 2020. Remember, too, we did have the beer flu, which really kind of threw a lot of people off guard. At this point, guys, in 2020, we did see an up year, but it really didn't start rocking and rolling until 2021, pretty much, which was down and around here. And this is when we saw that boom, 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 double top pattern, but this was the majority of the FOMO. So 2020, although it was a bull year, it was really 2021 where we were experiencing a lot of that. So in terms of this quiet cycle theory coming from Daniel Got Hits here, 2024 to 2025, he's saying could be the quiet cycle. Everyone thinks we're going to get some huge mainstream bull run with influencers, TikTokers, and celebrities buying the best meme coins and all that crap. He says, LOL, that's not going to happen. So again, this is just a theory. This is not exactly what I think is going on here. And if you guys want to follow me for more information on what I'm doing, what I'm thinking, I'm keeping it simple this bull run. You can follow me at patreon.com/workingmoneychannel. It is only $5 a month. And I think that's pretty good value for what you guys are going to be getting from me. So, taking this into consideration, though, he says, I might even start calling this one the quiet cycle. Your friends don't want to hear about crypto anymore. Neither does your family. Now, he's making some good points, I got to say. He continues by saying, neither do your coworkers. Neither does pretty much anybody who's a normie. Everyone got burnt in the last cycle. There was the Luna collapse. There was FTX. There was buying the top of NFTs. So everybody who was in the last cycle who got burnt, and I'm kind of painting everybody with one brush. When I say everybody, I don't actually mean everybody, but there are a lot of people in that cycle that got burnt that just aren't coming back into this cycle, buying the top of Dogecoin on SNL. So there was all that hype, guys, surrounding cryptocurrency at that point, and people are just done with it, he says, and there's basically zero retail appetite anymore. If you notice who the tiny sliver of retail is right now, it's Zoomers on Solana meme coins. Now that is interesting. Gen Z trading Solana meme coins. Why? Because they're too young to have been burnt in the last cycle. They aren't jaded yet because this is their very first interaction with crypto. You got to think, if there is somebody who's 18, 19, 20, 21 getting into crypto 3 years later, Before they would have been, 15, 16, 17, too young to be trading, really. So yeah, he says retail chart is rock bottom and will stay that way, in my opinion. Even if, he says, even if Bitcoin goes to $100,000, this will be the first cycle that skips retail completely. So again, a very interesting theory here, and I'm going to reiterate, this is just a theory. This is not necessarily what's going to happen, because I still think we do have some time before FOMO can catch up to the market. Celebrities who have any relevance or money will stay away from it too. After everyone they know got roasted from endorsing FTX, leaving only broke rappers like Lil Pump and Sexy Red. Normies are so down bad right now. Most people overpaid for a house in 2021 and 2022, so that's another thing, and it's already stressing them out. Mass layoffs, 2 days worth of food at the supermarket is $100. So the market today, guys, very different than before because of all these other sociopolitical factors that are involved here. Inflation, mass inflation here, is likely not going to get the same rate of normies into the market that we maybe saw back in 2020 and 2021 with stimulus checks, so on and so forth. Nobody wants to hear about your dumb crypto crap, and they'll actually probably even get mad at you for bringing it up. What will happen, though, is a consistent institutional flood of money via the ETF. So keep an eye on what institutions are doing. These buyers are so far ahead of any dumb celebrity or influencer. They control tsunamis of money and capital, and they haven't had a new asset class to buy in decades. This is literally a new asset class, and they want to own as much as possible. So in other words, if you guys get in now, if you guys were getting in, over the last, let's say, 12 to 18 months, when cryptocurrencies were at a steal of a deal, by the way, at patreon.com, you can still take a look at some of the cryptos that I've bought that I still do think have very, very good potential, and they still are at a steal of a deal. Some of them have actually gone under my cost average. So my personal cost average is actually higher than what they're trading at today, not by much. But some of them are. I bought some of them later. I found out about them later. Nevertheless, these are still high potential flyers. And, a lot of people aren't getting into these cryptocurrencies. It is going to be institutions that get into it, a tsunami of money waiting on the sidelines. He says billionaires are literally buying. Nobody else wants to even hear about it. The quiet cycle will be this strange thing where it'll seem deafeningly big to crypto Twitter and TradFi participants, but everyone else will barely be aware that it's happening, mostly because they're purposefully drowning it out in their minds and change the subject instantly. If Bitcoin hits $250,000 but nobody hears about it, did it really happen? So an interesting theory here. Again, I do think that maybe he's got some points here, but I'm not prescribing to it totally. But I think it is good that we listen up because this is going to be the institutional bull run, guys, because the other reason why institutions are getting into crypto now is because we could, in fact, start to see the real world utility kick off by the end of the year. Now, up and over here, notice this. Guess who's back, guys? Tony Valentino. And if you've been part of the XRP community for a while, you probably know who this is. A bit of a Riddler. He's laid out predictions in the past, and he has not been active here. I have his Twitter profile up here, which I will link in the description of the video for you. Last tweet he posted before yesterday was March 17th, 2023, when he posted, "Now sit back and watch the legacy banking system collapse. The traditional fiat financial system is now under full controlled demolition." And of course, the storm is now upon us, as he wrote just yesterday, along with rewriting the global system and de-dollarization. I think these are some pretty good points by Tony. As we're seeing here, this one courtesy of Michael Branch, the BRICS Alliance is looking to weaponize oil and gas to bring down the US dollar, and they want to mess with the world's reserve currency status of the US dollar. This alliance inducted 4 new oil-producing countries into the bloc, and guys, here are the countries: the UAE, Egypt, Iran, and Ethiopia. The invitation is also sent to the world's biggest oil producer, Saudi Arabia. However, the kingdom has kept the invitation on hold and is weighing the pros and cons of being part of the bloc. If Saudi Arabia joins BRICS, the alliance will control, get this, 42% of the global oil and gas sector. Saudi Arabia's induction into BRICS will lead to a paradigm shift, making countries rewrite oil deals, and payment settlements in local currencies will get easier. You can read here for more information. Major U.S. sector will be impacted if BRICS completely ditches the dollar for trade. So this blog post was from Watcher Guru, who is very active in the crypto community on Twitter too. I will link this in the description for you. BRICS member Russia provided an update on how they believe the U.S. dollar's global supremacy will come to an CNN. Russian President Vladimir Putin explained that if oil-producing countries in the Middle East stop accepting the US dollar for oil, the USD will automatically fall into a path of decline. So we're already starting to see this. US dollar dominance going down because these BRICS nations, guys, are using DLT technology already. They're already using systems that, well, whether it is their own system, whether they're leveraging XRP for some of this trade, maybe in smaller amounts, we aren't seeing it at scale yet, but it is slowly increasing. And even Vladimir Putin did state this in several interviews. So as we're starting to see BRICS membership grow too, I think, a lot more of these countries are Ripple-enabled countries. And once there is a universal, I think a universal standard for cryptocurrencies, we're going to see a lot more of this DLT technology really kind of take off. So wanted to thank Michael for pointing that out. On top of that, I wanted to just bring this to your attention too from Smoke. No guesses, guys. This is all data-driven valuations for Ripple and XRP. So bringing it back home, examples of the valuation issues for Ripple and XRP. This is an older document here, but the new FASB guidance should significantly increase the reported value. And if you guys look in here, reported value as of the time of this report, 46 billion units. Actual market price is about 60 cents per token. But on the secondary market, it's looking like it is less. However, in December of 2023, the FASB released a standards, intangibles, goodwill, and other crypto assets, which contain several relevant sections pertaining to digital assets. The headline has been that companies who hold cryptocurrencies will report them at the fair value price. In the body of the statement, the FASB indicated that there would be no exclusion from fair value reporting for cryptocurrency assets that lack an active market. The topic 820 provides guidance on various factors that would impact the fair value. So guys, they all have reports and standards, guidelines to measure these cryptocurrencies in terms of their real world value. Now you got to think, the organizations that are getting these reports, they are not holding meme coins. They are holding real valuable cryptocurrencies. When we look at the market and there are 2.4 million plus cryptocurrencies, you got to think 99.9% of these are probably crap. And there's only about 0.1% that are actually going to change the dynamics of, whether it's finance or transferring value, the Internet of Everything, however you want to put it. Only some of these cryptocurrencies are going to survive. And so when we look at this, the results of this guidance is our Ripple example. So it all goes back to Ripple and XRP. They use that particular token as, one of these cryptocurrencies that we know is going to have real world value. So this could cause the financial statements for a potential IPO of Ripple to reflect market price of XRP and result in a market estimate of value much closer to the theoretical full price of the $28.6 billion. So again, taken in the context of Ripple launching an IPO, but we got to think, guys, think of how Ripple is building. Think about the institutional connections, the fact that Brad Garlinghouse was the only member at this BIS summit from back in May of 2019. This courtesy of Anders, interesting connections. Ripple will open up a new office for its custody business in Geneva. So this is new news. In June of 2019, though, Ripple opened up an office in Zurich, Switzerland, to sell XRP to institutional buyers. If that office is still active, then Ripple will offer both crypto custody and sale of XRP to institutional buyers in Switzerland. Another interesting connection that ties to this. In May of 2019, Brad Garlinghouse had the meeting of his life in Zurich, Switzerland, alongside G20 central banks and the head of the BIS at that time, Christine Lagarde. The head of the BIS and Christine Lagarde. Ripple's office in Zurich, Switzerland, has opened less than a month after the meeting, and then over the last year or two, we have had news that Ripple purchased Medico. Now it is going to be called Ripple Custody. So they are opening another office in Geneva. All this, guys, pointing to the institutional adoption for XRP in the coming, dare I say, months, maybe 12 to 18 months. So year and a half. So I wanted to thank Anders for that. Another one here, guys, from Michael Branch. Ripple forced to create a euro stablecoin. I, was really surprised when Ripple said that they were going to release the RLUSD, considering MiCA frameworks were kind of the first to be passed. You would have thought that Ripple would have created a euro stablecoin first. And, Crypto Addy is also pointing that out. Watch for more euro stablecoins. I imagine Ripple and others will likely issue a euro stablecoin because MiCA introduced a cap on stablecoins not tied to official EU currencies, i.e. USD pegged when exchanged. So it does make sense. It limits a set at 1 million transactions per day and or 200 million trading euros per volume per day. Here, let me open up that tweet just to read the rest here. All right, so that's it. Pretty much 200 million euro trading volume per day. I will link this in the description if you guys are interested. Wrath of Kahneman here just pointing out, wow, that is a seemingly low trading volume. It is. They are forcing large corporations to use and create a euro stablecoin. It makes sense for Ripple to offer one. I wonder if it also creates a situation where the XRPL and XRP capabilities are in more demand. Well, I would assume that, because a lot of these companies are still getting up off the ground, and because the interoperability is going to be so important if you're, running on different chains, that these stablecoins will have to be interoperable, and that will, in fact, bring more demand to XRP when all this gets up and running at scale. So wanted to thank Michael and Crypto Eddie, of course, the Wrath of Kahneman too, for that response and that observation there. Versan and Black Swan Capital did post an interview, guys. I urge you to check out their YouTube channel. The link will be of this tweet in the description of the video, and he's linked this particular interview from this tweet. Our discussion with David Morgan, centering around the next banking crisis and the possibility of XRP being utilized as a liquidity solution to settle debts in the event of a global financial crisis. Well, I'd say that this is on our doorstep already. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
Do you think that what we've talked about in the past with Ripple and the digital asset XRP, that this is a possible solution to this massive banking crisis that is yet to come?
I do. I mean, I'm, generally speaking, not a big fan of cryptos, as you guys probably know, but certainly it's like a weapon, it's not the weapon that does the damage. It's who's holding it and what the purpose is. And so there's certainly some real breakthroughs that can be made with the crypto or the blockchain. And so we have to look at it on an individual case by case basis. There's some that are just, tag-alongs, cookie cutter, put a name on it and want to get rich quick. And there's others that have a true purpose. I would say XRP definitely does. And I do see it as a neutral. I don't see it as being biased, even though I know the Rothschilds have, 8% or something at one time. I don't know what the percentage is now. But, there's a little bit of good in the worst of us and a little bit of bad in the best of us. And I'm not trying to make excuses. I'm just a practical guy. Does it fit? Yes. Will it work? Yes. Is it perfect? No. But it certainly can mitigate a lot of problems with the transition.
He's not even a crypto guy, and he sees XRP as being a possible solution for a global financial crisis. Now, again, this is David Morgan. He does put out an investment newsletter, Building and Preserving Wealth. Gold, silver, resource companies, that's his shtick. But he's also a sensible individual. He does realize the new system is changing and that cryptocurrencies are going to be at the center of it, including XRP, to help remove ourselves from a liquidity crisis when it comes. And even though XRP has rallied recently, I'm still thinking 58 cents is a steal of a deal. That's my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.